If you do this, I promise, people are gonna start asking if you're on something. But nope, this method is completely natural. It works like a charm, and it's exactly what I did to get myself from where I started to where I am today. I'm gonna share with you 4 different things that you need to have dialed in order for things to work out for you, so much so that people will start accusing you of being on performance enhancing drugs. First things first is your training. This is everything you're gonna do in the gym and outside of the gym to make sure that you are building the aesthetic physique. So as far as bodybuilding splits, weightlifting is gonna be your best bet if you want to get anywhere to the point where people accuse you, obviously. Like, you could do calisthenics or you could do powerlifting, but just weightlifting in a bodybuilding sense is the most efficient way to build muscle. That's what I did. As far as training splits, the 3 training splits I highly recommend for anybody are push-pull legs, full body, and Arnold split. These are the ones that I use throughout my time. Upper lower is also really solid, and I think if I had done upper lower, I would have a slightly more balanced physique as far as legs go, because you literally alternate every single time, and so your development in legs is a lot better than if you were to do push-pull legs, which is legs 2 times a week, upper body 4 times. Hopefully that's making sense. When I first started, I was doing push-pull legs for the first 8 months, I believe, before I switched to a full body split, and the full body split was like 2 to 3 times a week. You would hit an intense full body workout session, and then 2 to 3 times a week you would hit what was called a pump day. So a pump day would be like, let's say you just wanted to go hit chest, but you had just hit a full body session yesterday. So you would do like 3 to 5 sets of chest, nothing too heavy, and just focus on getting a really solid pump. As far as push-pull legs, you're just hitting push, and then you're hitting pull, and then you're hitting legs. Difference is that when you're hitting your push movements, you're going to want to focus on chest, shoulders, triceps, and then for pull is back and biceps usually, as well as maybe a little bit of rear delts. So that's training. Training is like the simplest thing. If you want the exact workouts that I did, I'll literally send them to you for free so that you can build your aesthetic physique. Click the first link in the description. Next thing is the other things outside of the gym that I did to maintain the physique. And this is so underrated, nobody talks about this. Doing sprints and high intensity training. Wow. Have you seen what the sprinters look like? Bro, these guys, I'm sure they're on performance enhancing drugs, but their physiques are crazy. It's like they look like professional bodybuilders. It's literally insane. And so HIIT workouts, I did a lot of those. My type of HIIT that I like to do, basketball, boxing, and sprints. That was basically most of my cardio. I would also do spin classes sometimes, which can also be somewhat high intensity interval. So HIIT stands for high intensity interval training. You probably already know that. I would just do these different kinds of cardio that didn't really feel like cardio, and that's how I would trick my brain into being more willing to do cardio, because doing sprints is like painful. But what about playing basketball? You're doing the same thing. You're stopping, and then you're starting a sprint, maybe 20 meters, 50 meters, and you stop, and then you do it again. And it's like those intervals are really what's going to help you lose fat and build muscle, because it's training your fast twitch muscles. That was basically all my cardio. I would also go for a lot of walks too. Like, getting in your steps is huge for building an aesthetic physique because it keeps you lean. Alright, next thing is your diet. So when I first started lifting, bro, my diet was trash, and I didn't even know that. But my diet also helped me to gain, I think it was 40 pounds within the first year of lifting. Obviously all of that wasn't muscle, but enough of it was that it made a huge difference in how I looked. I wasn't fat, I just had way bigger arms out of nowhere. So what I did for my diet, at the time I was a vegetarian, crazy enough, and I would just eat a lot of eggs. I would make sure I get some protein somehow, and I would eat a ton of oats and fats. So in my oatmeal, I would literally make oatmeal and put oats, walnuts, some peanut butter. I would just load it up with a bunch of stuff to the point where some of my oatmeals were 1,000 calories. And I would just eat. And this is a secret tip. If you're a skinny, hard gainer and it's like hard for you to put on weight, eat faster. This is what my mentor told me. He literally said, I would get the biggest spoon in my house that I could find that you use for food and just eat it as fast as you can. The hormone that lets your body know that you're starting to feel full is leptin. And leptin usually starts to become activated like around 15 minutes after you start to eat. So if you're eating nice and slow, taking your time, at around the 15-minute mark, you'll start to notice that you're just starting to get full, right? So what I would do is I try to eat as much food as I can before that window where my body starts to tell me that I'm full. And that's literally what I did, because my stomach was tiny when I started lifting. And now it's not so tiny, but I still got abs though. Anyways, yeah, my appetite is just way bigger now because I would stuff the food down as fast as possible. After 9 months of being a vegetarian and lifting on that diet, I noticed that like I was gaining muscle, but I was also gaining a lot of fat, and my body was starting to store even more fat. So my mentor in the gym, Mr. Davis, told me, dude, you should consider eating meat. And I was like, okay. So I did, and I became a pescatarian. And this helped significantly because now I was getting protein from other sources that weren't just protein powder and eggs. I eventually became carnivore, and then I did like a keto diet. I've tried so many different things. The one that works literally the best for putting on muscle fast is a ketogenic diet. And also still including some small amount of carbs as well. As far as counting calories goes though, this one is tough. Because a lot of people will tell you to count calories. I disagree with them. Except if you're just starting out. If you're starting out, you don't even really know how many macronutrients is in X, Y, or Z. You couldn't tell me how much is in a protein shake if you're just starting out. And that's what I did when I first started. For the first 6 months of my training, I was tracking my food every single day. Until I realized that I'm kind of doing something that's repetitive, that I don't really like to do for no reason, and it's not sustainable for the rest of my life. Who wants to count calories forever? Nobody. Nobody does. But we all want to look good, and we deserve that much. So count calories until you know roughly how many calories are in the things that you're eating in your diet. And then once you know, stop. That's what I would do. That's what I did, actually. That helped me significantly. And the last thing on diet is just choose something sustainable. Like, I did carnivore diet. It's not sustainable for me. Like, I tried it for a few weeks. I was like, dude, no more rice, no more fruits. I'm just gonna be eating meat, eggs, meat. And I was like, bro, this is getting really boring really fast. So, yeah, don't fall for that, like, hype about the carnivore diet. It's good, but sustainability is its biggest issue. At least for me it was. So I wouldn't do it again. Okay, next, rest and recovery. This is the easiest by far part of your journey to becoming aesthetic. And it's really quite simple. Rest at least 7 to 9 hours a night. And then recover by doing things that help your body to feel at ease. For me, I have done tons of yoga classes, and that's what helps my body recover more than almost anything. It's like the best active recovery that you could do. Walking is also great for active recovery. And then massages. If you can afford to go get a massage, make sure you do that, because it'll increase the blood flow in your muscles, and it just feels so calming when you're done. It's like you're gonna spend all this money and effort and time building your attractive physique. You might as well take care of it by just going to get a massage. Like, for me, that was... Sometimes they're painful, especially if they're really going deep inside. It kind of hurts. But it's like, bro, at the end of the day, you're getting pampered, and it helps to build your physique, so why wouldn't you? So the last thing on rest and recovery I'd say is take rest days as you need them, but don't rest too much. Kobe Bryant once said, rest at the end, not in the middle. And I find that to be so true. Most people take way too many rest days. Like, some things you can do, just off the top of my head, 100 push-ups a day, or you could go for a 30-minute walk on your rest days. There really is no rest day. Every day is active. Even if you're doing some kind of like a rest, it's like passively working out. You understand? Like, the power of this is, it can't be understated. because most people take too much rest off. They'll take like a week off, for example, and then they're like, oh bro, but after that week I just couldn't go back to the gym. Dude, even when I've been injured, I've been in the gym. If I'd injured my knee, which one time I hurt it so badly I had to put it in a brace, I was still in the gym. I was still hitting my lifts. Like, for me, quitting was never an option. And this is the mindset I want you to have. This long-term mindset of I'm going to do this for the rest of my life no matter what, that's going to get you the result. The last thing is supplements. This is super simple, super short, super sweet. I barely use any supplements. Creatine, protein powder. And I don't even do protein powder every day like I used to. I like to do it just as needed. If I'm running late, don't have that much time, or I'm not eating dinner because it'll be too much to eat right now. It's like 9 p.m. I just finished working out. I'll just take a protein shake, go to sleep. But as far as creatine, I take that every single day. And this is like the major hack. This is the secret sauce. It always makes me look more jacked. Water retention is higher in the muscles. You're able to push heavier on your lifts. It gives you more energy. And it's naturally occurring. So creatine is a great supplement. Protein powder is great. I also used to get these LMNT salt packets, especially when I was training really hard. I used to do 10 by 10 squats, and my legs would be so sore that they would lock in the middle of the day when I wasn't even working out. And then my mentor, Mr. Davis, told me, bro, you gotta get some salt. That means you're dehydrated. So I started getting the salts, and it really helped. Those are kind of situational. You would use those as needed. He always uses them, so it's up to you. But I don't use them all the time. Highly recommend though, LMNT. There's no weird ingredients, it's just salt. And it's not even sponsored, I just like that company. And then the last one, the one that really helped me in my first year, is mass gainers, weight gainer, whatever you want to call it. They're like these protein powders, but they have like 1,000 calories when you make the shake. It's just crazy, because when you first start out, it's really hard to see progress. And that's what keeps most people out of the gym, is the fact that it takes long to get results. But what if you could gain weight really fastly by just using these mass gainers? Not forever. We're not saying use them forever, because if you look at the ingredients list, you won't be able to read all of them. Like, some of them are just, I wouldn't even recommend. Like, I don't recommend using them for a long term. But for short term, I used it for 6 months, maybe 12 at the most. Not even at the end of my first year I was using them, I stopped. But for those first 6 months, my progress was like this, because of the fact that I was gaining so much weight. I was actually eating a lot of food and then making sure I was taking those shakes as well. So I'd be getting like 1,000 calories in a shake, but also eating, 2,000 other calories. So my weight just started to just go up so fast. And yeah, I do recommend those. The other supplement I use is caffeine, but I just drink coffee. No pre-workout, no stimulant. No thank you. Those are the things that I've done. So all in all, I hope this helps. If you want to become aesthetic and build that physique of your dreams, click the first link in the description. I'll send you the workouts that I did for free. At least check them out. And yeah, don't wish it was easy. Wish you were better. Peace.